Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh my God, this is out there. This is out there. First off, did you like the opening with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre version of Ada? Man, I knew that Zach McGowan was going to be going places in this TV series when he showed up. I knew he was going to be going all over the place. He was all over that lab, and the ending. I'm just going to get straight to the ending. That's sick, man. Like that's still him. He's that little head in a jar, a little like souffle dish with the serving glass over top. Oh my God, that's insane. That wow, wow. So I knew Yo-Yo was going to be in this. She had to be, right? Now this is the second from last episode. All right. Sorry, let me just check really quick. I looked and saw what the name of the episode was, but I'd forgotten. The episode is called Self-Control. Now, unfortunately, we're going to be on a hiatus. Today's, the 21st of February. April 4th is going to be the next and final episode of this season. I know, really weird. This was episode 15 right here. You can tell by the description of when I put it in. You'll have already seen it. But yeah, this episode was out of control. And April 4th, so that's the first week of April. We're going to be skipping next week and skipping all of March and waiting until April 4th for the final episode of the season. And it's going to be called What If. Now, guys, any of you who are comic book nerds like me, especially the Marvel comics, you know that What If was the name of the comic book line that would have all of the, well, what if this happened instead of that happened? And I can already see what, you can see also, you saw the episode, you can see this is going to be the What If episode, right, coming up, because we're going to have Agent May is the head of Hydra. She's standing there, right? Like she's Nick Fury looking over everything. And she wasn't Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. She was Agent of Hydra, like Captain America is doing right now. Steve Rogers, excuse me. Oh, man. That's just, and I'm talking about in the comics, mind you, in the comics currently. But, yeah, everybody's doing their own thing. Go figure. Go figure. It makes sense that, what's his face, Coulson would be a school teacher and teaching like a humanities course of some sort. That only makes perfect sense. And Daisy, man, they said all the previews that I saw this morning and this afternoon going into this episode tonight, this penultimate episode, it all kept on saying it's going to do a lot of service to the fans. There's going to be a big shout out to the fans, the longtime fans who've been watching since the beginning. And the Daisy thing was definitely it. And even though it was only in a picture, guys, I told you, Grant wasn't in this season, and that doesn't make sense for him to not be in this season. So even if it was just in a photograph, he made it. he can still show up next episode also, and I think that he will. I honestly think that he will make a reappearance, because you can't have a season without Grant Ward, Anyways, going back to before, just seeing that everyone was in LMD. I know this is kind of counterproductive going backwards. Just that ending. I just got finished watching it, so I watched it. I came in here and I turned on my TV, my camera, and so I'm still high on this. All right, you guys are gonna be seeing this like a half hour, an hour later. But man, everyone is an LMD in here, including either Fitz or Simmons, and that was. I'm sitting there looking. It's like, no, neither of them are. No, this doesn't make sense. And what's going on here? And it was just such good acting. Guys, this actually gave me, I know a lot of people don't like the term. I like to use it because it sounds funny. I genuinely caught the feels watching this. This was so emotional watching this. I'm looking, I was like, oh my God, don't make him actually cut. No, she's going to stop him from cutting his wrist, right? Oh my God, she actually made him cut his wrist. Oh, and I felt so bad. And then all of a sudden he turned around and with the knife and like, oh my God, no. And then knocked out with a paint can. Oh, wow. Wow, that was absolutely insane. And I just, like my heart just like dropped out. Could not believe how sad, how heart-wrenching that was. Yeah, that really made me feel bad seeing that. But such incredible acting with these two. These two deserve their own. I want to say they deserve their own series, but I'm stopping myself because, no, I don't want them to leave this team. You know, all these guys are such great actors that forget about it. They deserve to be in their own. They deserve to be the highlight, to be the stars. Um, what is this? The oh, and I put down here on my notes that he was gaslighting her, and boy was he. But the Daisy lingerie show was nice. All joking aside, wow, an army of daisies downstairs. Like they made. You figure they only made one of each, but maybe they made more than one of each. They definitely made more than one of Coulson because Coulson was killed upstairs. The LMD Coulson. But what is this? Yeah, all of it. All of it was just everything was just so believable. You know what I'm saying? Like the acting here when Daisy met up with Gemma downstairs, like, oh man, I can't believe like how it's. I swear to God, it was like if I would have been watching this on a movie in the big screen, like they were going for the Oscars or whatever one of those TV shows are, the award ceremonies that I never watch. Yeah, I would believe that this was going for that because it was really that good. There was such good acting in this. Um, the sleeping gas idea was a really good idea. That was fantastic, and the antidote for it too. I like how you see. Think about this. They just made a technology where there's a sleeping gas that perhaps doesn't wear off unless you get the antidote, right? Or just it lasts for like several hours until you or if you get the antidote. They didn't really feel the need to explain any of it, and it worked. It worked just fine. That's what I'm talking about. No need to over-explain stuff, right? Sometimes I tend to do that. That fight. Oh my God, that fight between what's his name, Director Mace and Daisy was superb. It was really good. Like it had me like, oh my God, because she had to save something because she didn't have her wrist guards there at the time. And at the beginning of the season she was dying. Every time that she would use her quake abilities in the slightest bit, it would rupture her and fracture her wrists, and she'd be in a lot of trouble. But this, she had so she had to fight hand to hand, and she won. But look at what it cost. However, for all the WWE fans out there watching this, the Roman Reigns style Superman punch that she did two of them. Better than Roman Reigns. Granted, that's live, but still, that was really good stuff. Man, and then at the end when the end of that battle, when she got caught by the LMD Mack and LMD Coulson, and they each put a bullet in her. It's like, before you bleed out, let us scan you so that you'll be okay. Dude, seriously? Really? And that little seismic detonator that she did? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. More of this, please. Speaking of which, the thing with, what is this, video game? Oh, yeah, it seems like a video game because May was the final boss. Every time they got to a new level, it's like, Daisy had to fight this guy. Now she has to fight these two. Now she has to fight them. And it's just, yeah, like that. Like every level of video game. It's like playing Double Dragon and you're running out of quarters. Yes, I used to play stand-up arcade games. That's how old I am. Anyway, I like the idea that she was actually the most human out of all of them. I guess the system shock to her realizing that. But not even just that. Honestly, I believe it's mostly the idea that she was left for dead. Right? She fulfilled the one purpose that she had, which was to get the Darkhold. She succeeded in her mission. And then literally just, I'm not taking you with me. Screw you. Stay here. Have fun. Whatever. And like, wow, that betrayal. Like the betrayal of a boss, the failure of a god. It was that bad. So I think that's really the thing that actually turned her. The second Coulson came in, and yeah, the whole that was emotional. Not even so much that it was emotional. It was emotional, but more than that, it actually looked like it was a recreation of Blade Runner. If you ever seen that, I half expected her to look up holding a dove or a pigeon and dying time, or time to die. I can't remember exactly what the term was, and the bird flies away, and wow, it was really good. The acting in this, the script in this, they were really saving up, and dare I say that I know, like back in the first half of the season when Ghost Rider was there, the entire first half, I kept on saying with each successive episode, I think this episode was better than the last one. I think this episode was better than the last. No, this one was better than this one's the best one so far. And then I kind of stopped with the second half of the season. I honestly believe that this episode was better than all of the Ghost Rider seasons, all the Ghost Rider episodes, with the one exception that maybe it's on par with the first one, only because you got to see Ghost Rider light up for the first time. And granted, a couple little moments here and there, like I think it was the fourth episode, was it, of this fourth season, where you got to see Johnny Blaze kind of show up, and he gave the power over to Robbie Reyes. That was a very fantastic scene where it's like, okay, did not expect that, out of left field, and I love it, right? But this episode, there was just so much in it, and tell me that they hired professional writers. Tell me that they brought I'm all over the place, but tell me they brought in, Steven Spielberg to do this. I believe it because it was just that good. It was so good, and the betrayal of one of my light sources, the betrayal of Ada to Dr. Radcliffe was just. Am I the only one who, when I was a kid, once in a while, it'd be late at night and the parents forgot to get milk. So, hey, I'm the oldest. Go out and grab some milk. Here's $5. Go get a gallon of milk, and bring back the change. Yeah, I know. I have to walk 2 or 3 blocks to go and get a thing of milk. And, it's dark, a little scary out. Am I the only one who used to talk to myself out loud as I walked? Because, there are monsters out there. Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers and all of them. They were out there. They were lurking in the bushes, lurking behind trees, just off in the distance that you don't want to look too long, because then you'll see them. And nobody actually comes after you in the horror movies if they don't see you. So I'd be walking, and I'd literally just be like, talking, and trying to keep the conversations as interesting as possible. Because if it's an interesting conversation with myself, then they won't kill me. Am I the only one who used to do that? So when I saw Radcliffe talking to Ada, and I know Radcliffe he's a little bit gassed out because he was just under, and he's been under all the time. But am I the only one who was literally thinking to myself, hey man, idiot, she's thinking of a way, she's trying to come up with a reason to bypass one of those 2 prime directives and kill you. So perhaps you should stop for a moment and think, instead of trying to explain things to her or whatever, think of a way out of this and say something to her like, no, Ada, you don't understand. My purpose for you is to make it so that you can self-evolve. And I know that I can do that for you. And this way, you're detrimental. You're interesting. And she can't kill you. And you idiot! You went and said exactly what she was looking to hear. And I'm like, oh yeah, you gonna die. Oh man. Yeah, guys, this was such a phenomenal, fantastic episode. Are there any other good adjectives with F? Flippin' awesome? I don't know. Do I sound like Sarah Palin? Anyway, guys, I'm going to let this one go right here. This was a stupendous episode. I can't wait to see the next episode. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait. All right, we're all going to have to wait. What is this? 6 weeks now. 6 friggin' weeks. Oh, God, I'm going to Alaska now. But we're going to have to wait 6 weeks for episode 16, which will be the season finale. 6 weeks. And this episode is called Self-Control, and we're going to have self-control to wait until the next episode, but it's going to be called What If? And yeah, this is going to be very fun. And this is what I was talking about when the writers, when Jed, I want to say Snyder, and no, I'm thinking Batman vs. Superman, Jed Wheaton was talking about in that interview that I read, where he said that, oh yeah, we're going to finish out this season talking about the LMDs also. So this whole season was going to have LMDs more and more and more in the episode, but the first half of season 5 will also have LMDs in it. Yes. Now I can see exactly how they're going to do it. And it's not going to be as much them having LMDs in it, but they will have LMDs for, they're saying, according to rumors, for that first half of season 5. So, all right, is what it is. And right now, just with the framework alone, I really believe that they're going to be more about trying to figure out that they're in the Matrix, framework. So Come on. All good ideas came from somewhere. But I think that they're going to be spending most of the episode, exploring the what if, because that one regret that they all had that made them who they are, that May LMD talked about, just such a beautiful speech. I loved you because of that regret, that thing that you regret. Oh my God, I'm going to get choked up. But it was my water. There it is. I'll get to it if I need it. But man, I think that they're all going to be exploring their regrets now because they didn't have those regrets programmed in already. Remember, Gemma and Daisy didn't have their brains explored, so I guess they did it on their own, whatever. They didn't scan their brains like that, so they're going to have to kind of realize this on their own, So I'm going to enjoy it, and like I said, I really expect to see Grant Ward in this, back as the good guy, maybe a little bit creepy as the bad guy, because that'll be the thing that gets Daisy out of it. I don't know. I could speculate about this all day, but 15, 16 minutes now, guys, absolutely spectacular episode. Yeah, all right, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, class dismissed.